Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing a new episode in our legendary Ikit Claw campaign for Total War Warhammer 2. Let's go ahead and get back in here. I forgot to press intern at the end of the last episode, so let's go ahead and intern here.
Engineer.
I don't think we need to do that right now. We need to start saving up some money because this is going to be
Victory.
36, 80, 8,000, or say 36, 9,000, 11,500 plus 36. It's like 50, so we need like 15,000. That's not even including the amount to hire those units. So yeah, that's gonna be rough. 15,000. We're getting pretty close. Okay, so let's go ahead and intern. So I think what we're gonna do here is go over with this dude and maybe occupy this burned settlement over there. Because I really don't want to sit here and multi-sack this. It just feels really gamey, really kind of like scummy to me. Like, you can do that. There are some factions where you borderline have to do something like that, like chaos early. That just feels like you're exploiting the leveling up mechanic, which is where you get a decisive victory. Even if you like kill a town that has like one unit in it, you'd still get a decisive victory. So just sitting there and power leveling, the AI does that to you. You know, a lot of times they'll just keep sacking your small towns to try to level themselves up. So I get it, but the challenge here is just trying to do something productive other than sit there and power farm. We're gonna have to kill these rebellions, but at least we can do rebellions in 2 different provinces. If we go occupy that over there, then at least we have that going for us. At least we're kind of making some progress on the map, taking a town. Because we really can't do a lot. I mean, our other option might be we could come over here and maybe set up a an undercity in like this Greenskins town potentially.
Optics enhanced. No threat of a challenge.
I think just triangulation. This just gets so strong. Artillery units, damage and firing. We can't.
I will not obey.
He's trying to come over here. Maybe we can catch him out. Maybe he'll come over here and pop back in at tomorrow. We can kill him.
Warp. Lightning.
I mean, if he loses all of his armies, we might be able to go over there and take it with these 2 armies without.
Yes?
Sartosa's most infamous. Without the play called catapults. If he throws away one more 20 stack, we might be able to do it with a bunch of food.
Kill things.
I don't have enough food to do a Vermintide yet. About to say, if we summon a Vermintide and set that up. Okay, so we could go for that. Other option is we could go for something like Broken Nose. I don't know. They're on the strong side, so they probably have like 20-something units, so I probably can't beat that with just a slave army stack. We could also try to go for her, but just occupying this and getting this online is one of the better options, but...
Skaven Bright's greatest, best inventor.
Okay, and we can just go ahead and chill here, I suppose.
Tinker. Sorcerer inventor. Yes, yes.
I want to be in my property. There we go.
Sneak. Scurry.
Well, I can either replenish or I can step into their property and raid. I think maybe raid, actually, the more I think about it here.
Legs, tails, move.
Doesn't give us a ton of gold, but it does give us a lot of
Kill,
food.
burn, steal.
The replenishment, I mean, they're slaves. They don't matter, like, that much. Sounds terrible when I
Engineer
say that, but
Australia.
they're Skaven slaves. They don't matter that much.
Move, move. Start, come, fly. great power.
We're gonna have to get
Yes,
rid of
yes.
one of these things in a little bit. We could do upkeep minus 13% for Skaven slaves. I mean, how much upkeep are these slaves?
Machines
They're
and
like
then sorcery.
18 times 20. That's like 360. So 13% of that would be 40 gold a turn. I mean, we are going to have to get this at some point. Minus 5% recruitment cost does add up too. Let's go ahead and grab devious plans first, because we're going to have to delete that building probably to make room. So we need to get this anyways. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we're going to recruit a bunch of rats.
Bigger
clan
warp
rats.
forges.
This is going to be our business army. Okay, and then diplomacy, probably not gonna matter. Who's neutral with us? Broken Nose. Okay. Attack, don't need that. Okay. Now if they put that 20 stack in that town, then we can hit that. Okay, there's our pop surplus. So now it should be maybe 5 or 6 turns before we get those catapults online. Hopefully they run over here. They're running somewhere with that 20 stack. I'm not sitting in the town because I do want this rebellion at Skaven Blight. I hate farming rebellions too, but I'm gonna have to fight a rebellion at some point. I can't attack these capitals. And I can't, like, I have to keep an army close to Skaven Blight because we don't have walls. And yes, I could have sacked Tabaro again that turn. I could just multi-sack it with both of these armies over and over and over again, and then go back to raiding and recruiting after that, most likely. I could at least sack it and raid on the same turn. Sack and raid every turn, over and over again, and just keep gaining levels. But once again, I think that's sleazy. That's why I didn't do it. So it's not that I didn't think about it. It's not that I don't know that's a possibility. It's that I'm making a deliberate choice to exploit the system as little as possible. Because that's how I like to run my campaigns. I don't want to get ridiculously strong through exploits or cheese early on. Occasionally, you know, yeah, we're going to have to kill some rebellions while we wait. You know, I'm not just going to ignore the rebellions. We need to try to do something productive. But the thing is, a lot of campaigns, like, you're trying to finish up your province, you know, until you get to tier 3, and you're grabbing multiple buildings in that province, and you're putting growth buildings in it, so you can get, you know, up to, like, between 120 and 150 growth easily. And so you can just kind of zip right up your tree. You don't have to wait on your techs for too long. Or there's, like, neighbors that have pretty close by, like, accessible towns that you can attack. Neither one of those is the case. Like, this is our only accessible nearby town. Or at least you have walls in your town, so if you go away, you're not risking losing your capital to random aggression. Okay.
I refuse.
So, 20 stack, did they repair this? Yep. Alright, round 2.
Warlock of Skaven Blight. Master Engineer. Here. All things die.
Okay, and I'm going to be greedy and not even use any food here because now we have extra clan rats, and we beat them pretty decisively last time. That's a hell of a lot of... I think they have more units than they had last time, though. That's a lot of swordsmen. That's a lot. Maybe I don't want to greed on this. I feel like they had less than that for sure last time. Okay, so let's just go with 3 here, and then maybe we can get up to this for the extra 10%. Or, yeah, growth. mean, if you continually kill rebellions, you do get food. I believe you get some food from rebellions, and you get some gold off of that. So, like, if I could sit this army there, you know, and this has like 600 something upkeep, and like every couple of turns I'm killing a rebellion and getting, you know, 800 gold off of that, then that kind of is cost neutral with paying for that army and dealing with public order in the area, while also leveling up a ward. So it's a bit harder to do that on legendary because you get penalized.
Which kill device?
You get penalized for having a lot of armies, whereas in lower difficulties you don't get penalized nearly as much. So they really discourage you from doing things like that. It's like every army, I think, in the base game, it's something like 15% extra cost. I can look up top for all of your armies, not just that one army. So if you're wondering, well, why don't I just put an army with all Skaven slaves in every single province, and then it pays for itself, and I get to level up all of these lords, and, you know, farm all of these items and things like that. It's like, you could do that. First of all, that's a little on the cheesy side. The second of all, the game makes it difficult to do that because the more armies you have, the more percentage upkeep you have to pay on each army. Yeah, if you were playing on normal difficulty or maybe even hard or maybe even very hard, you might be able to do something like that. But on legendary, it's not happening.
Our tale is yours.
There's still cheese options, of course, on legendary, but it, like what I just talked about, where you can just kind of kill the same town over and over again and just farm a town to power level. But there's just less of those cheese options than there are on lower difficulties.
Ready, ready. Skaven Smash.
You know, I hear some people say, you know, oh, well, it's campaign, you know, it's so much easier than multiplayer. I'm like, if you're actually trying to take on challenges and actively not trying to cheese the system, then the campaign can give you some really, really hard fights. I mean, I'll tell you, when I played multiplayer, I got to like 270th or something in the world at one point. And there were a lot of just really easy people. I mean, honestly. So yeah, they're definitely like, you know, are the best players in the world going to be better than the best AI in the world? Sure. On like even terms. But sometimes you can get yourself into these situations in campaigns where if you're deliberately trying to take on tough fights, you might try a 20 on 40 or something like that, where they outspend you, you know, 2 to 1. Because they have twice as much gold as you do. So yeah, they may not behave. They may not be as smart as human players, but they get all sorts of bonuses and potential strategic advantages on the map that can make campaign fights feel really difficult and memorable. In many ways, more difficult and more memorable than some of the multiplayer fights. Many of the multiplayer fights. People cheesy in multiplayer all the time. I mean, multiplayer, at least when I played, it was like, okay, who snipes the other person's legendary lord first with like Gaze of Morph or whatever the light wizard's thing is. Like, you just had a bunch of flying mounts and you just run around trying to snipe people with that stuff. I'm sure the meta evolves over time. So I'm not saying that like multiplayer doesn't have its perks. It does. It's fun. It's interesting. I've heard some multiplayer content creators kind of thumb their nose at campaign, like it's just easy, you just steamroll it all the time. It's like, yes, if you maximize all of the abuses, sure. But in many ways, many of the multiplayer battles until you start getting up, you know, to the top 300 or something is also going to be pretty easy, and you can cheese your way to that. I mean, even some of the people near the top of the ladder had like an 80 or 90% win rate a lot of the time. I mean, just ridiculous numbers. You know, someone would be like 150 and 10 or something like that, and you know they're not doing that naturally without cheese most of the time. The matchmaking is also kind of janky, but anyways. So, moral of the story, if you're playing the campaign, you know, what I would consider to be like honorably, not trying to cheese, and there, you know, then it can offer some really, really unique and interesting experiences. Also, just like the campaign management, I like managing the towns and your cost and all that kind of stuff. I think that's really fun, and obviously you don't get that in multiplayer. You just get like, you know, 12,000 gold, buy whatever you want, or whatever it is, like 12,600 or something.
Warlock of Death! Quick mode! Quick, go! Go, run, go! Unleash war power! Onwards!
Just gonna fire on you too.
Come on! Skaven slaves!
Not manage that super well.
Obey! Yes, yes! Over here! Here!
Put this up here.
Unleash war pain! Kill sequence! Scupper scurry! Scuttle! Hasten! Hurry! Move! Move! Yes! 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 Strain the cattle! Ready! Ready! Oxtail's yours! Moving! Undying loyalty, Master! Eat bite! Warp lightning! Now go! Yes! Yes! Faster, Scotty! Screen Ricato crack! At once! And die, die! Mark Scotty, yes! Fight! Wields the wind! Skaven, yes, yes! I'll tail yours! Quick, quick! Stab! Our tail's yours! Now, yes! Run it! Doom player! Creep, creep, yes! Warlock engineer! Move tail! Hand! Yes, yes, yes! Ikit claw! Doom player! Attack! Right things! Warlock engineer! Rattling it down! Fight, fight! Clanrat spear! Smell musk of fear! Quick, fast! Scamper! Sigma demand blood! Back underground!
Fire? Okay, that's good.
Goodbye! Other Clanrats flee! Attack! Captain's crown! Attack! Nasty things die! Stop! Go! Take it! What orders? Now, yes! I'm now ready! Murder, kill! Storm Demon primed! Clanrat spears! Sleeping yes! I agree! Doom Player! Skaven slaves! Warlock engineer! Ready? Claw on button! Finally! Doom Player! Skren Rikavokrek! What? Srik!
Up there, Lord.
For the Valentine! Now move! Not sorry, yes! Yes! Good, master! Attack!
So a lot of our units just kind of, they just run away and then they rally back.
Our tail's yours.
The verminous valor, as they call it.
Storm lightning. Skaven. Yes, yes.
I mean, maybe if I get that warp lightning upgrade. Well, Rose, well, Rose. Yeah, I don't want to. I'll just go ahead and end it. I don't want to friendly fire my own units too much. We could, in theory, just occupy this at this point. I mean, we would lose. We'd lose our thing, which what is? It's given us 2 or 3 food right now and 200 gold. But we could be getting rebellions and we could be getting growth like going here also, which would allow us to start doing more upgrades and things like that. So maybe at this point, since the other place is burned, we might be able to hold some of this. And we're going to have that rebellion, so maybe we just go ahead and just occupy it at this point. So it'll cost some gold, but we'll start getting gold in off the port, and we'll start getting growth, so we're going to be ready to upgrade once we get to the new place, and it'll give us more
My
rebellions.
blade is never outsmarted. See?
I think, I mean, or we could just leave it and then try to go attack their main city. I mean, maybe we can with an army this big. They don't have that much. I guess we would want to occupy it either way because we want the replenishment. So we get almost no gold off of this.
Tinkerer needs trinkets.
We could take it up to
Mass
tier 2.
murder
I don't think
now,
it has any...
questions later. This place's riches are mine now. Our under-empire, bigger, stronger.
Even take it up to tier 2, but I think I want this. It gives leadership, but it doesn't give gives growth. And some public order. Doesn't give replenishment though. If I took it up to tier 2,
Steal things, all things.
that would pull some of this down, but then we could put a public order building here, potentially. Or even just a growth building. And just start that process up. So it'll already have some growth and we can already tech up. But do we even need to tech up our... I guess we're going to need it for public order. Just trying to think, I mean, how much gold... I should have added this up. I should know this on the spot. But, like, how much gold do I get for actually occupying towns? Like, the benefit, of course, is that... like, you don't have an enemy there. So it's your place. You know, so you're not going to get backdoored. But... So I guess we need to take them out. Like, we need to occupy and... But, like, the more towns that you owe, or that you own, yes, you do get gold out of them, but it also costs you food. So just using the Under Empire in a lot of places might actually be beneficial, but once again, you're going to have a front if you do that. You're going to have a war front, so... I think we just occupy.
More lab nests here. Take for Scryer.
We could try a Vermintide at some point. I think we just save up. I think we just save up the food, and we can do more summons. So yeah, we don't really need this at a higher tier. Let's go ahead and loot and occupy.
Fight me. You die. See?
Interesting. Okay, so now you can use this multiple times in a fight. This is different from Seal Faith, but while it's going, it's plus 30 recharge rate. Is that, is that just for spells you cast or everybody? Huh. That's really interesting. Okay. That's a balance. Okay, so now we own it. We've got some bad public order going on here. If we repair this, that's going to give 150. That gives 50. So that's 200. So that's the same amount of gold I would normally get, but it's like costing me food now. Potentially.
Chief Warlock, Ikit Claw.
Okay, they do have another ward that's popping up over here.
I win. Enemies to track. Scurry forward.
I want to make sure we're in range to chase him down. What? So that's 50%. Wow, it cost me, or it charged me more than it said it was going to charge me.
Master Engineer.
Let's roll. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to go over here.
I say, move.
Warp tokens is nice. What was this tech? One of these things lowers, that's for Scorch,
my name.
which is potentially really good.
Build, create, code to kill, destroy.
Sorry, I had to sneeze there. Got the mute button just in time.
Broom,
Okay, we have to use a
zap,
Doom Rocket in
zap.
battle to upgrade at some point. Case of Doom Wheels. That is a tier 2 Doom Wheel thing.
My plan scheme's
Where it's
always
-1 for
best.
Warp Lightning or -2. And its cooldown is -10%. Okay. That's respectable. Scorch -3, though, is pretty legit. Like, might need to get some Scorch here soon. It only takes 2 points to get to it for Ikit Claw. 1 point in Warp Lightning and then 1 point in Scorch, and we got it. The normal Scorch. Okay. Alright, so that's looking good. We're finally working on that. We're going to get a Rebellion over here next turn. That's okay. We're waiting. It's 5 turns? Oh, no, we just started this turn. Okay, so it's 4 turns for that. We killed our
best inventor.
This will allow us to kill some more Rebellions. Once we get that. Okay, so we finished this. Continue on with Strength in Numbers. This is just gutter runner stuff mostly. Eyes Everywhere is good and Hit and Run are good, but we don't need this stuff for now. We just wanted to go ahead and grab that tech, because why not early on? It's pretty good. It just takes 1 turn to learn it, so why not? So they are...
The Empire.
That's all they have. Little town.
Where are my schematics?
I mean, I could just hire... We've got to kill the Rebellion first, for sure. I could just grab some more Skaven slaves here.
Smartest
I mean, we could come at them with 40. We don't have that much in the way of defense. I mean... Seven.
More warpstone. Now.
Maybe we need to get this replenishment one. I mean, this is pretty dang good. We do need to get strength in numbers first, but... Maybe I should be
Engineer of Scryer.
maxing this out. I mean, this is going to take 4 turns, and then this is going to take an additional 3 turns. That's 7 turns, then 2 turns to hire is 9 turns before we can get the play calls online. They're hiring here, though. I think they're, before I can even get over there, they're going to have another, like, 14 stack that's also going to have, these. We're just going to have to wait. I want to pull the trigger and get over there, but... Okay, Rebellion there. Ooh, what do we have? Oh, nice. Scheme of Doom. How do we get this? Has he got to a certain level? Okay, so we can establish this Undercity, which is really sweet. This sucks in the base game, but it's really nice right now. The main thing, and I've tested out this Undercity in one of my other campaigns here.
You die.
It is expensive every turn, but you get a Warlock Laboratory, which is awesome. It's a special building that gives like an extra 10% research rate, among some other stuff too. So we want to go put that in, probably run up here and put it in the Wood Elf territory. That's the closest thing that I know 100%. I'm not going to occupy that. Everything else is kind of fair game through here. I wouldn't mind getting Sartosa. I think it would be pretty cool. Get on here and claim Sartosa, but... Okay, so we'll work with him next turn.
Magic missile.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to use that on cooldown. Now remember, even with the like that guy shares a cooldown with your normal hero's cooldown when they kill stuff, and establishing the Skaven coves or whatever. After we take Moraliano, I think we need to start getting just like a Skaven army, just to, like I said, just run up and down the coasts and start just putting coves in, and then put that purple stuff in as much as possible so we can get that stuff spreading throughout. Then eventually, if we need to, we can spawn a Vermintide and then put one of our lords in there, potentially. Is there... I think there's one of those things can give us like 3% research rate. But we'd have to have a hell of a lot of coves to make that make sense. We'd have to be really rich, too. But we'll see. That's going to put us at war with all of these coastal towns if we do that, so that's something to keep in mind. Chaos would actually be a really interesting place to go try that with, or the Norska, because there are so many ports up there. And obviously, but they aren't that wealthy of a faction, I don't think. Like, they don't generate that much money, right? Like, the ports give you some money. Ulthuan is another one that would be really good, because High Elves do get a decent chunk. Actually, they don't get that much money, honestly. They're okay. It is kind of scary to go on the sea against those things, because they could go hostile at any moment, though, so... The thing is, Norska is so far away, I don't...
News of your conquests spreads far and wide.
Oh, 3,000 for
your developing power is noted by even the most distant of kings and bestial lords.
Sweet. Okay, what are my next little mini objectives? This is actually, like, maybe doable to, like, actually get the big-time win, because you don't have to get everything on the map. You only have to get 17 of these. So we can get all of the stuff like in the north, like Nagaron and all that stuff. And there are lords we can confederate with potentially in the four corners of the map. So it's totally possible we could do it. Also, if we send one of these dudes out to go like marauding around the coastline, like this guy, if we just give him like a few real units, a couple of weapons teams or something, just make it like a, I don't know, a 2,000 gold army. Yeah, they're hiring a bunch of stuff here.
No.
I'm gonna have to have the real army to deal with them,
that.
I think.
I will not obey.
Exosutrede. No. Need myself token flesh. Now. The horned rat. Science. Sorcery. Death.
So I'm gonna say, we're marauding around, getting the ports. That'll also allow us to spot the other Skaven factions early and start trying to sweet talk them. Okay, wow, they're barely in my property.
Skaven blight revels in this victory.
So we get some food, not a ton.
Sate the black hunger, minions.
Close. So we get some decent gold off of that, though.
Death contraptions to fund.
So I guess I could have just,
No use for this flesh. Mighty master engineer, I am.
We could have just taken this and farmed Double Rebellion to start with, but remember, I didn't know the Beastmen were going to take this over here, so that kind of... The reason that I originally put this stuff in there. Although they did go and try to save their towns. They did reoccupy and try to fight me several times. So that was actually pretty profitable. And those are some interesting fights, I think.
Machines
At least
and
sort of
then
interesting.
sorcery.
Why's this guy moving so slow? I guess there are a lot of rivers through here, which is annoying to try to run through. It's like a weird delta. Like this town allowed. So I guess that's kind of a defense mechanism where, you know, they have to try to run through this. Now, what is this going down to corruption-wise? Going down to 93 because of this one thing here. 3 turns on that stuff. Okay, this is 210. We are getting a little growth.
Warlock engineer.
Engineering
Skaven
skill,
blight.
triangulation.
Seen many worse.
This is going to give us a bunch of extra damage. Then we probably want Arms Dealer next for the 20% extra ammo. Is sweet. Okay, now what do we do after this? I guess we just...
This is dark omen.
I mean, yeah. Events. Yeah, it's 15% extra for 2 armies. So it's very expensive for 2 extra armies.
Sorcerer inventor. Yes.
I think Root Marcher is actually pretty good here.
The Empire.
Okay, yeah, that's actually going to be hard to deal with because he's got reinforced walls now
The
and all
nation
this.
calls.
Could pop him over here to go for Bilbali, but then when there's a rebellion, we're not sure where it's going to go.
Warlock ready.
I could pop over here and try to kill these guys. Can't really raid our own territory. It's not really a profitable thing to do. You only get -3 public order, and it drains all of your income. So raiding your own stuff is bad now. I want to do something other than sit around for 3 turns, but...
Magic's energies.
walk this guy over here and then pop over this wall and just... I don't know, hell, maybe we can take this. There's not that many public order problems here.
Where shadow of horned rat. Skaven Blight's greatest, best inventor.
Get into here to get some more replenishment.
Storm demon.
What's it at? It's at -30. Well, if we occupy, that's actually not a sack. That's actually not, I was thinking if we sack it, we're going to be losing a lot of gold by doing that, but we actually are not.
Night runner. Enemies to track.
We do need to get more clan rats here soon, but I guess we could just wait on the clan rat. I mean, we can just combine a couple of these, whatever.
Test subjects.
Next turn we could do some clan rats. Now these guys could potentially come over here and try to burn this, though. That is kind of a concern. Let's try to think of something to do, though, for a few turns. We pop over that wall and take a look at him, though. It's almost 45 minutes. We had a pretty good fight in there, I think. Yeah. We fought like a, what, a 27-second empire? That was pretty cool. So we're not going to be able to get the siege this turn. Interesting. Huh. They're looking kind of menacing. I think they're going for Talia, though. If they die to Talia, then I can go take their stuff. Obviously, if they beat Talia, I can kill them at Miraliano. So, either way, this is good. They're going to fight each other, weaken each other a little bit, and then maybe I can pop over and clean that up. Gentleman Jenkins. On duty.
Channel fight clear.
Damn, this is taking forever with this dude. He's going to take like years to run up there. Whoa.
I'm special.
It's a lot of units. Especially for this early.
Diabolic devices. Legs, tails, move.
How much corruption is here? A decent amount of corruption. It's kind of annoying. Does corruption affect public order, though? No, as long as it's not Skaven corruption. That's actually pretty interesting. So the chaos corruption actually helps me because it balances out my corruption. It lowers my corruption. So these guys hanging out on my property is actually good as long as they're not raiding it.
Warlock Master.
More warpstone. Now, now!
Alright, let's pop over here and let's hire... How many more turns? 2 turns.
Where are my schematics?
So what are we going to get? We're going to get like 1 more rattling gun, maybe 1 warp fire thrower. So we want 3 plague claw catapults. I kind of like the Giselles. We might go for 1 more of these. Maybe 3 warp fire, 3 plague claw, 1 warp fire. So that's 4 units. And then 1 extra Giselle would be 5 units. I don't know if we need an extra rattling gunner. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good, but it's a bit hard. Because I feel like the warp fire thrower is doubling, like it's a similar type of unit. How much armor does a warp fire thrower have? Only 40. These have 70, so... I mean, maybe we could do 1 more gunner. That's like 3 units that like deal heavy splash that you have to move around though. This can actually fire over units and fire through traffic a little bit better. So these are a little bit stronger. I think maybe we just keep those. So 3 plague claw and then 2 weapons teams. So that's 5 total units. That would give me
Ikit claw.
so 2 weapons teams. So it'll give me 4 weapons teams and 3 catapults. That's like 7 kind of micro type of units total. So we're getting 5 more. So I think that means we can hire 1.
Stop. Yes.
Go ahead and grab 2 of these units. Do we need to hire them yet though? I guess we can wait 1 turn. Well, if these dudes come for me, I don't know if they're coming for me or not. I doubt they're coming for me, but they might. So I guess we better not play around and just get them. And then we'll figure it out later. And these are way more expensive, but they are just way better also. We're about to get the strength in numbers, and we're going to get scavenging runs with them soon. So like these have 1930 with 25 armor. These are 1212 with 0 armor. So we do need some business units. So do we need that many business units? Maybe not. Maybe Maybe just that many is about right with the slaves. Because sometimes you just need stuff to take up space, and if you can do that for 18 gold rather than 116, you're saving 100 gold every turn. It's pretty sweet. So maybe just having some fodder in there would be kind of nice. I mean, they're not really, they're kind of tearing through this stuff. The thing is, this only has 35 leadership though too. Whereas these have 47. So they're a lot less likely to run. They're obviously better. So how much can I afford though? Just remember, we're gonna have to pay whatever this number was again. 54, 25. It's 79. That's like over 11,000 just to build the buildings, and that doesn't include recruiting these guys. So I don't know. Maybe on that thought, maybe we just. This is probably okay. We'll just chill with this. All right. Because to hire everything and get everything at once, it's going to be like 16,000 gold. Probably. And then it's going to cost a lot more on top of it. And we don't have extra income right now, so. Listen to some Game of Thrones theory, dear. Virus could be a decent group to attack. That's not a port, though. I mean, even if it's not a port, anywhere that I go, I can get like 3 food and 200 gold by beating them and putting a thing in there. And we can also potentially spread it to other people pretty comfortably, get that 5% spread. So we need to start doing that with some of these faraway towns. So we're at 47. We did have one decent fight. Okay, they're sieging Marigliano. Okay, maybe we do get into a position to where we can strike them if they take out Marigliano. So maybe we do buy some clan rats here in a second.
Scryer! Stop! Yes, yes! Move, tails! Kill! Burn! Steal!
I refuse.
Alright, they're definitely powering up over here.
My technocracy.
I don't know, this may be foolhardy. Because now, if I occupy that, I'm not sure where the rebellion's going to be.
Stench of others, too strong.
I'm thinking I can beat the rebellion here, or I can beat the rebellion here. But what if these guys just run at me with like 20 right now over here? Can I beat that? Probably not, but I would still have this. And I could retake this eventually. This guy's going to be able to win this. It's good pretty hard. Oh, it's tier 3 now also, which sucks for them. They're gonna have cannonballs, which is brutal AoE damage. That's a lot though. I mean, that's
I'm special.
I mean, that's 42 units, but they are defending with like 20, 36 units. I don't think they're gonna be able to get it.
More warpstone.
Kill contraptions!
Could occupy, colonize
Machine
this as
and
well.
sorcery!
I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little greedy over here with that. But did I not move him this turn? Oh my god, for real? Damn it. Oh, I just wasted a lot of extra gold. I thought I moved him. I'm trying to go through these turns too quickly. Like, I hate these kind of inactive turns where it's just kind of chill type of turns. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the gold to colonize that over there comfortably. Ooh. Wow. It's like they crushed him. Damn, okay, that's actually pretty scary. I want that. I got dibs on that. They might occupy it next turn, though. I don't know. I mean, I know they had a lot of units, but damn, real? I mean, I'm shocked they're able to do that. What are these guys? How do I have vision of this? Is it because of the Under Empire? I just have vision of all the towns? I don't have. Wait, I don't have an Under Empire here. How do I have vision of that? Somehow I have vision of all this stuff here.
I will not obey.
Because I don't have the Under Empire anymore.
Watch your back, tail.
How do I have vision of this? Do we get vision of these dudes wherever they go? Is that what it is? Like if we see them, we always get to see what they see or something? Alright. I want this. That's for weapons teams. Gives us research, rank for artillery, which is obviously important. Win some magic, food, income. Yeah, that's great. And we want Play Claw, and we really... I think we really want to Plague Wizard. I don't know, lately doing all of these... These guys can crack walls, if nothing else. But doing all of these, like, Warp Lightnings and all that kind of stuff feels really strong. Like, Warp Lightnings and Scorches on the cheap. Feels pretty good, but, I mean, these guys are so strong, though, too. They can get on that, like, the Plague Bell or whatever when they get to a certain level. And they just summon so many rats, and it's so cheap. They just really help flood you with a lot of free units, and they have like great utility, like this armor shredding, poison. Yeah, you just got to get them. I mean, that's in the base game. I think that's the, if not the most powerful magic in the game, it's really close with like life magic. So I think we got to get those. Okay, and I think that pretty much. What else did we need? Guess that covers it. I thought we were going to have to get rid of this building for some reason, but I guess not. We could go ahead and upgrade it then. It does give us extra recruitment capacity. So we can hire this stuff faster. Also gives us a bit more untainted. And lowers recruitment cost. Yeah, why not? The big one is extra recruitment capacity. Okay, so this dude actually needs to go north.
All up ready. This way.
I really wish that this spawned not at your capital, but where your faction leader is on the map. I think that would be so much more useful.
Move tails.
Wow, these guys didn't even lose anything hardly. What a bunch of beasts.
Praise Sigma.
Warpstone.
Sort of changes my calculus a little bit. I'm just afraid if I go there, like, I'm gonna be hurt a lot.
No.
And then these guys could just, like, swoop
I
in.
refuse.
Are they both 7?
Absolutely
Bernard.
not. I'll ignore that.
Who's the other?
Not likely.
Who's this other clown?
I will not
He's
obey.
got 15. I don't think I can do it. I wanted to occupy this, but I just don't think I can. Because he's got 15 units now. He's just going to run over here and retake it. And it's just a waste of gold. So I guess we're just running in circles. I don't know. We would have just been standing here anyways, chilling. So it doesn't matter that much. We can pop back over and probably get in range for the rebellion. Maybe not, but I guess it was worth a look. I wasn't sure how much they would be able to hire back.
Absolutely not.
It's not a super high priority right now to upgrade this, so maybe we can chill on that. And then we need to go get Moraliano soon. Now, they don't have gates yet, but they'll probably have it soon over there. Okay, so that's going to be it for this episode. We're clocking in about an hour. I really don't want to go more than that, unfortunately, but we do have some nice fights. We're finally going to be able to get our play claw catapults, our weapons teams, in about 5 turns. We're going to pimp it out. We're going to get a warp walk thrower. We're going to get another Giselle. We'll have 3 catapults to go with it. And a plague priest. I need to leave a spot for a plague priest. That'll give us like an actual powerful army that we can go siege with. So, okay. Let's just see if there's anything in turn. I don't think so. Yeah, there's a rebellion next turn, so we can't make a play on this right now. We gotta wait. I'm probably not going to risk them intercepting me if I try to use the underway. I might be able to beat them with the all Skaven slave army, but really that's a supplemental army. Like, I don't think it's good enough to... I mean, it's possible I could beat a real army, but the problem is, like, their leadership is so low. It's just... It's very risky. Okay, yeah, looks like he's probably coming over with his crew for one last challenge here. We'll see. So next episode, it'll probably be 2, maybe 3 turns before we can throw this into the main Wood Elf town. So it's expensive. I mean, that dude's like 300 gold per turn. I mean, I goofed up 1 turn, so that's on me. But it's probably still going to be like 6 turns to get over there. So it's probably like somewhere between a 2,000 to 3,000 gold total to move him up there. to start that building, but you do get a free
Skaven
building.
Knight's greatest, best inventor.
Where is he? Where's he raiding me? Oh, right here. He's barely on the edge.
No.
Not enough warpstone.
Okay, so we should be able to auto-resolve this. There's a chance maybe we can't. If we can't, then we'll just summon up some rats and beat him. Yeah, we'll get back at it next turn. Okay, he did actually occupy Moraliano. So I might just go over and take... I think I'm probably just going to hop this army over and go over there and fight him before he's able to get walls up. And while his units are pretty weak. Now, that's going to invite this dude to come down and fight, but... we can always retreat. If we need to. We might be able to beat their army. I mean, we have 33. I mean, these are injured, but we've got some really good magic. I don't think he's going to have much magic in that army yet. We'll probably wait to fight him, but I do want to come over here and take this before they start getting walls up.
By the
If
comet.
possible. Sartosa's got some pretty good stuff. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode, so thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Special shout-out to Clint, Westworld, and Adam for the generous donation. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to sponsor a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. We can set that up. And like I said, next episode, we'll probably fight this rebellion, maybe try to make a play on Moraliano. We have probably 6 turns before we have our cool units, 4 turns for the buildings, and then 2 turns to hire the weapons team that we want. So we'll probably be decked out and ready to start murdering here in about 6 turns. Although, like I said, we might make a play on Moraliano first. Just sort of see how that goes. But that's going to be it. Thanks. Have a good day. See you next time.